We're gonna watch Children of Men because I've never seen it or heard of it. I know it's got Michael Caine, which is great.
Yeah.
This is Mason Missed It.
I can't give you a disgusted face or a hurt face or a surprised face.
Why not?
I think this is the single most underrated movie in the history of movies, at least that I have seen. There may be other movies that are more underrated, but that I've seen, I think this should be in the top, 20
So this
movies
is like,
ever made, probably.
This is like an everybody missed it.
Pretty much, because anyone that I know that has seen it has been they're sort of like Saving Private Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It has that effect on people.
Am I gonna cry?
I don't know. The whole movie is sad, but not because sad things are happening. It's the atmosphere of it. But I don't want to give away too much. But the synopsis you might read on the back of the book is that it's prophetic in the sense that it really nails the future that we're staring at right now, and it's creepy. How much?
When was it made?
Oh God, 2008 or 9, something like that.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
Clive Owen is in it.
Sure.
Michael Caine is in it.
I know who that is.
Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it.
One more time?
I may have mispronounced his name.
Just one?
You will know. You watched Serenity.
I sure
Do
did.
you remember the main bad
Watched the
guy?
shit out of Serenity.
The agent?
Yeah.
He's in it.
Oh.
He's fucking phenomenal. He's a great actor, that guy.
Okay. And this is post Serenity, right? What year was that movie?
Right around the same time. But yeah, I think it was 07 or 08. Right around the same time.
Cool.
But it's just, like I said, I don't want to give a whole lot away. But it's if it were a book, it would be one of those books that you read in school. I just don't understand.
Great Gatsby.
It's right in there
Shitty
with
movie.
The Godfathers, and there's it's a whole bunch to break down. I could write a book on this fucking movie, and so it's super intellectual. Maybe that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I feel like the top 100 movies, a lot of them are. The people who are rating movies are really into that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So again, I'm surprised that it's not constantly on the top 10. It's the number one underrated movie. I don't know what else to tell you.
Let's go watch it.
There's not enough hype that I can give you. I will still undersell it.
No, right now you're in the golden zone, which we referred to before we started
The
recording.
golden zone,
zone,
as Mason calls it.
You're not at the overhyped train. You're not at the...
If I could get you there, I would take you there, because I don't think this movie can disappoint you.
Be my mushroom, Ian. Take me to the overhyped
Sherpa,
train.
fucking
That's what
Sherpa.
I said!
The world was stunned today by the death of Diego Ricardo, the youngest person on the planet. Baby Diego was stabbed outside a bar in Buenos Aires after refusing to sign an autograph.
Witnesses at the scene say that Diego spat in the face of a fan who asked for an autograph. He was killed in the ensuing brawl. The fan was later beaten to death by the angry crowd. Born in 2009, the son of Marcelo and Silvia Ricardo, a working-class couple from Mendoza, he struggled all his life with the celebrity status thrust upon him as the world's youngest person.
Diego Ricardo, the youngest person on the planet, was 18 years, 4 months, 20 days, 16 hours, and 8 minutes old.
Dude.
So all I heard you say was you thought it was good. That's all I heard. Because
I didn't say...
We just ran right in here.
I think it's good.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, it was good.
I said, dude, that was really good.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
so don't fucking paraphrase me.
All right.
We just finished Children of Men, starring Michael Caine. That was crazy. It's weird. Even halfway through the movie, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie like this before.
I have yet to see another one like it since.
Maybe it's because I just watched it.
I've never. The first time I saw it, I just didn't know what to think about anything. Honestly, it just changed. It was like some people like the Matrix changed them. Like that was my Matrix.
Yeah,
I was speechless. I didn't even know what the fuck to say about
weird feeling, like through the whole movie, like a really uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. Oh, certainly.
Possibly one of the most intense movies I've ever watched. Not even because it wasn't like a Michael Bay film where there's shit. I make a little bit towards the end, but
definitely some action,
but not. But it's not like a transform. You know what I mean? There's not things and colors everywhere and things exploding.
It's very dark.
There's just parts where you're like
literally dark. Like
you just feel unsettled. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, whoa, this isn't going to work for anyone.
Wow.
Like, you don't feel like there's any hope at any point.
What did you think about the end?
The end?
Yeah, the end.
I want to know if he's dead
massive
or not.
spoilers, obviously.
Yeah, massive spoilers. I want to know if he's dead or not. I would assume he is. Bullet shot to the gut.
I mean, it is a slow thing. They may have got him on that boat and helped him. I don't know.
I hate that they don't address it.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I love to hate
the
it.
fact that not everything needs to be wrapped up in a bow. Like anything after that point is fluff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not what the movie's about. It's not about whether he survives. It's
was
about
very
the fact that
mainlined.
the boat shows up. It's called the Tomorrow. Holy shit, the Human Project is real. So it gives you that. It gives you that much.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you don't know if they're going to treat her well or if they're going to treat the baby well or if they're going to tear her apart. And
nobody they've met treated them well. One person who helped them out at the end.
And Julian was good.
Julian,
and
I guess, was good.
She wasn't going to kill anybody. She was just doing what?
Yeah.
So it just depends on who
Julian being the lover, quote unquote, ex-past lover of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just felt really uncomfortable in a weird way the entire time. Just because there were points in the movie, like when they're on the bus going into the refugee camp and her water breaks. I was like, oh, this is the worst thing they could have. Literally the worst.
Until they get into their horrifying, disgusting apartment and she has to give birth on that disgusting mattress.
I almost had to close my eyes. Yeah. You could see me trying hard not to actually cover my eyes because the birth scene was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that whole situation just fucked up my head. Really good. I love the main character.
Clive Owen's a wonderful actor.
Really good.
He just doesn't get cast in a lot of stuff that proves it. Like, he's in a lot of, action movies and,
Yeah. And you pointed out, Charlie Hunnam is in the movie, being Jax from Sons of Anarchy, as most people know him.
Yep.
He's kind of the crazy
he doesn't have a big
guy
part.
with the dreadlocks.
Yeah, he's one of the fish, the terrorist group.
I think he was one of the guys on the motorcycle at the beginning.
Yep.
Then he dies.
Well, that's
He
the other
gets
thing,
shot.
too. I love, no one, they don't ever, there's this movie, the director and the people making the film never lose sight of what the movie's about. It's not about Theo killing these guys that tried to kill him earlier. You know what I mean? It's not about this revenge. It's not about their war. It's not about them fighting. That is all window dressing.
He's not a badass. He's not he is, but he's
but
not
it's not even about a personal thing of where he gets to the upper hand on the guy and kill him. He just gets shot by British troops.
Yeah.
It's just welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
Not everything ends with the two people fighting. It's not how this works.
Even the black guy who was kind of seen back and forth on the whole thing. He was he was gonna shoot them.
Yeah,
and
he wanted to kill Theo.
Yeah. Well, they were like, let's get out of this room before.
Because he wanted the baby to be the symbol of their revolution against the British government at that point. What did you think of I don't know. Did you feel were you picking up on messages from the movie, things that the director's trying to say or anything, at all? Were you thinking about that? Or were you too oh fuck about what was actually happening? Because there's two things happening simultaneously.
Yeah, I honestly think because it's my first time seeing the movie,
right.
I didn't have the whole I wonder what the underlying moral story is behind it.
Sure.
I just was she's gonna have that baby in that shitty apartment on that gross mattress.
Oh,
and he just washed his hands with whiskey. That's weird.
I mean, alcohol is...
Let's do it. No, totally.
Kills
I get
bacteria.
It.
It's all I had,
but
I guess.
It's just wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It just is not.
Absolutely.
I didn't... going into the movie, I didn't expect her... I don't know why. I didn't expect her to have the baby. I don't know why.
Right.
Because she didn't seem that pregnant.
Yeah,
Is that-
I mean, she said she was
That
a
fair
little
to say?
over 8 months.
She said 8 months.
So it was definitely a preemie.
She doesn't look big. She doesn't look big in the movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird thing to say, right?
No, I know what you're saying.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because, I mean, a lot of people can't
I
tell
think that
she's
girl
pregnant.
was probably 6 months. Like the actress.
Yeah. So, real pregnant girl.
I'm assuming.
Because, like, that's some brilliant work if that's not really a pregnant girl. She had, like, stretch marks and everything. Yeah, because at the beginning, no one knows she's pregnant. Including the average watcher. Viewer of the movie.
Yeah, until they reveal it.
Until they reveal it.
With the music in this movie, like there's not much of it. If you kind of go back and think about it, but they just put it in a couple spots where it's like they know that you're supposed to feel a certain way and they want you to feel a certain way, and then they just punch that in the face with their music. That singer, I don't know, God, it gets to me like, really badly. Like,
and not even just the music. There's a lot of points in the movie where it's really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then just wham!
Really
Like loud at the right beginning of the movie when the bomb goes off in the coffee shop. That was like 5 minutes into the movie. I didn't expect that to happen.
And it was like the first couple minutes are just.
Yeah, you're kind of like meeting
He's
this
in a coffee shop.
British guy. He likes to bet on dog races, which is whatever.
That was a little bit later.
He wanted a little bit later, but he's just a guy.
Well, like, even in the beginning, he's like, "Coffee, please." And they're talking about the youngest boy, the youngest man.
Baby Diego.
Baby Diego, who's 18 years old, was stabbed to death.
Yeah.
And like everyone's all crying. He's like doesn't give a fuck. He's so disillusioned.
He's just
with all
a guy.
of it.
He's just trying to do his thing. Okay. Yeah, biggest question. Maybe you know. They never touch on what happened. Why people weren't having babies.
It doesn't really matter.
It matters to me.
Like, it's not a movie that's trying to build a mythos or a universe or fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do point it out. Jasper points it out by saying when he's telling that joke. He's saying he talks about he's referring to sort of what would be an inside joke for these characters by referring to all these scientists get together and theorizing. They don't know, it just stopped. And then some people are like, oh, it's a genetic mutation. Oh, it's radiation. It's gamma rays, chemtrails, blah, 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 all the different things. Everyone has offered their opinion, but no one really fucking knows. That's the point. The whole world is like, I don't know. And then the whole world collapses, and they just make these references. Like, you remember, I don't know if you remember, when he's talking to Julian after they kidnap him. And they obviously hadn't seen each other in more than, like, 10 years or something like that. Because then she said, I'm sorry about your mom. And
they talk about New York.
Did they have, was it in New York when it happened? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, shit. And that's it. Because in order for me, in my opinion, to make it feel like a real, like they're real people, like... Let's say that you and I were like best friends for our whole lives, and then we move away and we don't talk to each other. And 10 years, 5 or 10 years after 9/11, I meet you again, and it was after 9/11. I knew that your dad worked in the World Trade Center. If we talk, I wouldn't go, "Hey, was your dad in the World Trade Center on 9/11 when the terrorists flew the planes into the building and the building collapsed and it was a terrorist and it started a war?" You don't. Because
I would
how
know,
we talk about that.
Because I would know exactly. What
I would say, "Was it on 9/11?" And you go, "Yeah," and I go, "Shit." Like, that's why they don't need. You can't sit there and just unravel paragraphs of exposition as to everything that's happening. It's just you have to just kind of have faith that. Oh shit, something fucking big happened in New York, and they tell you that the U.S. is in shambles and the whole world is in shambles, and
they show
the propaganda video is the Britain soldiers on.
Exactly, yeah. Washington and like Uruguay and all these other crazy places in there. It's all on fire,
crash.
And then London's doing peachy.
And as you can see, it's real fucking peachy.
So there's not a lot of closure in anything in the movie, so you don't get an answer as to what they're talking about. You don't get Julian for very long, so that relationship doesn't get built. It's already built, but you don't.
They do a good job of like making you feel that right before she dies with like the little ball and like.
And which was weird.
It was very weird.
Spitting a ball into each other's mouth.
Yeah.
But it's like you get the
feeling
feeling
it worked,
that was
and
something
you
that
kind of like I can't help
kids.
but kind of laugh and like I like them all of a sudden. Like, oh, I can totally see them as a couple.
She gets shot in the neck.
She gets shot immediately. I love how nothing is over dramatized. There's never anyone who's like, oh, go on, Johnny.
Yeah. She gets shot and she's just dead.
And like the camera doesn't even really show it.
Go on, Johnny.
She's in like the you know what I'm saying? Just overwrought bullshit.
Yeah.
That like people expect there to be like dialogue that just explains everything.
A part
And
that
it-
comes to mind is right after she dies, when Key and the older lady, whose name I don't remember,
Miriam.
who also is just gone at one point, and you just never see her.
She gets taken by those because she
but
stood up.
She does it almost like she planned to.
Well, because she knew that they were taking people off of that bus, but
she didn't
they
want
weren't
them
taking
to.
everybody. She didn't want the baby because they had to get into the city.
Yeah.
So she starts standing up and praying,
Acting
And
crazy.
he's like, and then he picks her, and then he says, "Oh look, she pissed. It was her water broke."
Yeah.
And the guy's grossed out, and so he leaves them on the bus, and so he took her. So she sacrificed herself so that they could make it into town and get to the boat.
So the part right after Julian dies, when they kind of just lay her in the forest, and then you see Theo, the main character, kind of walk over a tree, like smoke a cigarette.
And then just start
He
crying.
breaks down for like 8 seconds, and then they're like, "Okay, we gotta get back to it." Like, "All right, let's go." And then he just gets in the car and goes.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh,
What do you do?
yeah, no, no,
You got
yeah."
this pregnant girl. You gotta-
But like you said, there was no like, like violin.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then he didn't like
He wasn't holding her.
Julia!
Like, yeah, no.
like, none of
And
that.
I feel like what happened, that's way more realistic.
yeah. Well, yeah.
He's already a broken down guy.
in their
anyways,
in their
and then-
situation, there's not time for bullshit.
No.
And too many people would just do the bullshit, and then you
Yeah.
know what I mean, not worry about the fact that they're getting chased by these.
Yeah,
crazy
I just feel like
motherfuckers.
the people who wrote this script just understand real people.
Yeah,
And they know,
yeah.
like, it's,
100%.
this movie is very genuine.
I do. It's a bummer that Jasper dies. I do like Michael
Horrible.
Caine's role as Jasper is a really good role for him.
It's one of my favorite Michael Caine roles,
They
really.
I love. I don't love, but I like the part where they shoot him the first time, and he's kind of on the ground. And he's like, "Pull my finger."
Yeah, well, at first he shoots him with the finger and he says, "Fuck you," and throws the joint at him. Like, they never break the character
It's
at all,
so
you know?
gangster.
And
he's like,
it's the horrible because he puts on Ruby, goodbye Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
And as he
Oh.
gives the poison, the suicide pills the government gives you to his paralyzed
wife,
wife.
or whatever. Yeah, what and her? What is her thing?
All you know is that when the camera's panning along her desk, the last article it shows you is British government denies torturing journalists, and it shows a picture of her. And then it shows
Really?
it's showing the picture of her, and then it cuts to her, and she's just sitting there in her chair, and that's
Yeah.
all we really know. So, and then he was a famous political
Cartoonist, yeah,
cartoonist.
yeah.
So obviously they met in the field because she was a journalist who was tortured by the government, and that's all
Weird.
you know. That's the only thing you know about her, and they just leave it to you.
Weird.
There's like that's what I'm saying. It's like this movie manages to communicate all of this shit to you without ever telling you anything. This movie is the perfect example of show don't tell.
Yeah, and when you were
Perfect
referring
example.
to it's showing him being a cartoonist, what immediately stood out to me when I was like, oh shit, there was pictures of like flak cannons on the ground firing at
Birds.
storks.
Storks.
It was storks carrying babies, and I was like, it's deep.
That was one of those things that he wrote. yeah.
Deep.
And then his joke.
What? I don't
About
remember
the
the
human
punchline.
He was like, so after he talks about the Human Project and all these scientists are throwing the things around, there's a posh English gentleman in the corner eating a chicken leg.
Yeah, it's
And everyone goes, "What's your idea?" He's like, "I have no idea, but this stork is absolutely delicious."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so God, what a crazy character. It makes me like almost toward the end of the movie. I was because you hear the guys talk about it. He's like the black guy who dies, and he's like, yeah, I forgot what they even sound like, referring to the baby.
Yeah, he doesn't even
And
remember
then I
what
was
babies
like,
sound like.
that would be weird
Can you imagine that?
without kids.
Yeah, or Miriam in the school. They're in this destroyed school.
Yeah, and then
she's like, "It's so strange what happens to a world when there's no children."
I said out loud, I was like, I didn't even think about that. Schools would just
Schools are just
Just
gone.
go
They're
away.
just these ruins.
yeah, that's
There.
all it was. There was old cartoons and drawings and chalk and shit from the kids and dude.
It just and like the other thing that I wanted, I just didn't know. I kind of prepped you for it a little bit beforehand. Was to like kind of pay attention to some of that fucking camera work in that movie.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it before. I don't know if we were recording. When we did.
I think we were, but
I don't remember. We're doing too much recording.
I know there's a lot of
There's
recording
scene in
going
the
on.
movie where a lot of shit's going on in a car, and then you I would never have picked up on it if you didn't mention it. But the camera is moving throughout the car in such a way to work with the actions that are
Yeah.
happening within the car. But like, I think it's when Julian gets shot, right?
yeah,
Is
that's
part
the
you're
whole
referring to?
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like you
That's-
have
that
her,
whole thing from the part where they're driving and they see the flaming car coming down from the hill
Yeah, yeah.
to the part where they start to drive away, like when he opens the door and the motorcycle guy
Yeah.
is one shot.
crazy.
The whole thing.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah, and
fucking
it goes-
insane.
And it goes to every position in the car. You can see Julian, and it comes back,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of everyone, and
And then he hits the door, and that
Hits the door,
motorcycle
and the guy
goes up, and they
flips
fly
over
around. Oh god, it's like it, and it's not even because the movie feels so real. Like they don't need Michael Bay explosions. No. That shit's more intense than any Michael Bay explosion.
Yeah, no, that would have been annoying.
Like
That would have
just
been
seeing
that
that
really
and the
annoying.
sound, like the way they design the sound and the it's so loud. Everything is so loud and quiet. There's like that huge dissonance. So like when the action's happening, it's like holy shit, but it's short and it's fast and it's violent, and then it's over. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's moments in the movie where
it's
you're
just
like, oh
God.
man, like you get really uncomfortable, like when she's having the baby. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
God, stop it, please. And then like and the guy, like I mentioned before, he's not like a badass. Like he's not.
No.
He doesn't like beat
Except
people
when he
up
hits
and
Sid
shoot
with the battery,
anybody.
the car battery.
He does beat the shit out of Sid. Well, no, he hits him once.
All he has to do, because you know how heavy a car battery
Yeah,
is.
probably killed him. I don't know, but he hits him hard. Boom. And just,
It's just
how about the crazy like Chechnyan girl who beats him with a
beats him with
sledgehammer?
oh god! And then like my favorite part of the whole film, my favorite scenes when the baby starts crying after. I don't remember the actor's name. Chiwetel is his real name. Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think is his. I might be butchering it. He gets blown up, and they're walking out, and the baby's crying, and all those people are like touching him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like the soldiers come in and they stop, and the whole war just stops. It's like dead silent, other than the music and the baby crying for like 25 seconds. They walk all the way through all the war, all the bodies, through the soldiers, through the tanks. They're all stopping and staring, and then one guy fires a shot in its back, and all the war, and it's all.
Everyone's shooting
and then they
again,
just keep running. I was like, oh my! I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, holy shit! This is the best movie I've ever
It was
seen.
really good. Really, really good. Yeah, it was a really intense movie. One of the most intense movies I've ever seen, by far. A really weird.
So I didn't overhype it, right? Like it lived. Did it exceed?
You didn't overhype it because we only talked about it today.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
we had planned for 3 weeks to watch this movie,
I still don't think
you
it-
probably would have ruined it.
Do you really think so?
No, I don't.
I
don't
just
think
don't.
So.
I have a faith in that
I don't
movie.
think so because
I don't.
that wasn't what I expected. I had no idea what I expected because I didn't finish reading the back.
I remember you saying though it blew me away because you were like, I'm getting a Last of Us vibe from this, and holy shit,
Yeah,
right?
ish.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just looking at it, and it was like I think on the front it says like "One last hope" for blah blah blah
Right.
or whatever. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't expect there to be as many people. You know what I mean? Like nothing is still like civilized anymore, but there's a lot of people. There's still like London is still working.
It's still functioning.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not what I expected. Nothing. I expected maybe him
like post-apocalyptic.
well, like Last of
Like
Us.
Last of Us, where it's
maybe
all
he gets
out.
wrapped up in this fucking thing.
It's like this
which-
seems like it's probably like 20 years from where Last of Us is. Like the world is clearly heading. In
Yeah,
that
oh yeah,
direction.
yeah, 100%.
Really fast.
And at the beginning of the movie, when he walks out of the coffee shop and he's walking down the street and kind of the carriages drive by and the cars, I was like, this doesn't look very futuristic. And then I realized it's only 10 years from where we are now.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
10
like,
years
oh,
from now, and
okay.
it's 10 years from now, and it was made with no children being born since 2009.
Yeah,
So obviously your economics are just going to fucking
right.
plummet.
And there's not a lot of
The world is
advancements going on.
I love the busyness of like, and all the most of the cameras. There's not a lot of. It's all like a dude carrying a camera.
It seems like it.
lot
One
of-
of those like stabilizer.
You just kind of feel like
Things
you're,
on, yeah.
you know, and then when they're running, it's kind of shaking. It's like a documentary on the
but
ground.
not like found footage.
no,
shitty
no, no,
garbage film.
really well
Yeah,
done. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
like
Not
the guy
found
who found the footage, or the guy who had the footage knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and just there's a lot of long shots in that movie, like a lot of them. Even
Which is
the
important.
intro you were talking about with the bomb. I mean, the whole thing from when he grabs his cup of coffee in
it
there,
follows him
It
out.
doesn't cut at all.
And
It
then
follows him
he
out
kinda
into the
lights a
road,
cigarette and then it
pans
turns
the
around.
road. You see the streets. It tells you the year. It's a long like those are hard. If you like ever go and watch a movie, like next time if you can remember, like think about how many hard cuts there are. There's a shit ton of hard cuts in
It's
movies.
annoying. It's really annoying. We watched the new Resident Evil movie like a couple months ago, and that ruined the movie. At one point, even Cassie was like, "What are they doing?" She was opening a box in the movie, and it was like bam, 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 and we were like I'm getting nauseous.
That's
like,
crazy.
what are you doing? Yeah, they were just trying to keep it exciting. You know what I mean? And like
Well, that's ridiculous.
it was so.
But
and
even like
all
something
she
like
was doing was opening
Avengers
a
or
box.
something like it's just you see Iron Man flying and there's a kick shot here and then there's a shot here
Yeah.
and then there's a shot here.
And that's kind of understandable. You
Totally
have a guy
understandable.
flying.
It's understandable because shots like that,
Yeah.
long shots, everything has to go right. all of the extras have to do their stuff right.
Yeah.
Everyone has to drive. No one can run into each other. No one can stop. No one can trip. No one can fall. No one can get hurt. No one can yell. No one can talk at the right. Like the whole thing has to be perfect. And so like directors is like, it's too hard. So when they get it right, it's like, wow, this is amazing.
Do you ever watch honest movie trailers?
Yeah.
They did one for Taken 3 with
God.
Liam Neeson.
I didn't see the 2 or 3.
One was good. They did one for 3 where it shows him jumping a fence. It's 16 different camera angles to get him. It's only him to get him to jump a fence because he can't really jump a fence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it shows him running and then like hopping and then like bam and then like it's the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
I don't mean to get off track.
No, it's okay.
Dude,
I mean,
Children of Men, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
Great.
so glad that you.
Not what I expected, which helped.
Which helped. Okay.
Helped. Not that I expected bad, but it was.
It was just a little bit. It's in my like top 5 movies.
It's weird that I've never heard of this movie.
A lot of people haven't, dude.
That's
Big
so
film buffs
strange.
like me have heard of it because it's like underneath. It's like I'm saying. It's not just me. It's
But
considered
why?
a better
Like the whole
movie.
time, I got a feeling like this should have been a huge movie.
I don't know. Is it because it doesn't explain what happened in New York? It doesn't. There isn't.
But that's
what makes it
what
great.
I mean?
But like a lot of people don't like movies that make them think. I don't know. That just sounds bad.
Yeah, there is.
You don't
that.
go to the
There
theater.
is that.
To,
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, you go to watch
Go
people
to
jump.
watch
People jump cars from building to building.
Whatever.
And then
The
The Rock take his shirt off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It's just not. It's a. I don't know what the rating is on like Rotten Tomatoes. I don't. If it's less than 100%, I'm fucking. I don't like. What's wrong with that movie? I don't understand.
Oh, they're British. It's hard to understand what they're saying sometimes. Cool,
All right,
man. I loved
That's
it. It's
Good.
great.
I'm glad.
Thank you for showing me that.
Certainly. Godfather's next.
Godfather's next.
We're doing Godfather next. I own it finally. So.
That'll be a big one.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.